just when you feel like all is lost, Toriko winds up going and surprising you. And I shouldn't even say surprising, but he pulls some really, really cool stuff on Tommy.
Toriko Gourmet number 86, The Depths of Hell. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters and gourmet hunters and gourmet revivers of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and insect-filled Tommyrod-ridden tale of Toriko. Now, our last chapter, of course, saw us with, Toriko is really just trying to get Tommy within his grasp, within his range, and he's like, stop hiding behind your insects. And Tommy's just like, I don't have to give you a beautiful death. I can kill you however I want. My insects are fine. So anyway, he winds up going and spitting out close to or right around the full 1,000 that he can actually go and kind of gestate and actually spit out, right, and then hatch, you know. And these things just wind up eventually, and Toriko's trying to take them down as they're coming at him. Eventually, they just wind up overtaking him, and the last page is literally just him, his body shape with bugs just all over him, man. Oh, just freaking gross. And it looks like some of them are flying away a little bit, whatever, you know. Anyways, that's where we were left off. That's where things left off. And that's right where things pick up. And actually, Match is sitting there like, holy shit, you know, because he's thinking, man, Toriko just got effed up. And then what winds up happening, it's kind of weird. Match goes and it's neat because Toriko is, and what his fate is kind of the focal point of the chapter, but there's also something going on with Match as well. We know that he's extremely exhausted and has pushed himself to his limits, obviously, with his fight against Barry Gammon. But he goes and at one point, he actually, towards the beginning, he actually goes and like visualizes and sees himself in this double-page spread where he's in like this kind of calm, tranquil forest, you know? And I don't know exactly what the meaning of that is or what the deal of it is because, I mean, he kind of talks about it as he comes out of it and everything else. I don't know if it's that he's like hallucinating or he's kind of like seeing some like the other side, you know, or whatever it's supposed to be. But I thought it was important to make note of. So anyway, what winds up happening is, you know, is Toriko looks like he's done. I mean, he's just completely covered in bugs, and it looks like the bugs have done their worst, you know, done their job. And Tommy's like, all right, and he's thinking in his mind, he's like, well, you know, good thing because I reached my 1,000 bug limit, right? Like I could still go and spit out some more, but I can't, you know, I can't basically tap into that reserve energy anymore. I need to conserve what energy that I have. And then he says, you know, he says for him. And I think he was looking over at Match thinking that there was going to be some kind of fight or altercation with that. And Match doesn't have much left, and he can kind of just sense and feel that because he goes and all of a sudden Match kind of looks at Tommy, you know, and then like the aura from Tommy kind of comes out and just like, ooh, you know, just like screams at Match, and Match is like, whoa, kind of shrinks back, you know. So I think that was Tommy's way of basically like his intimidation factor saying like, all right, well, you know, my killing intent, so it says that you're just this weakling, you know. So he's basically just going to go and leave him, you know. And Match is like, and I love what Match says. Match is like, and this, because this sticks in Tommy's head. Match goes, you know what, don't leave a dog. What does he say here? Yeah, he says, don't leave a dog to, don't leave a pup, is what he says, I believe. So, because someday, here he goes, sure it's okay to let me live. If you don't kill a dog when it's just a pup, someday it will grow into a hound and hunt you down in your sleep. And I kind of like that, because Tommy was like, huh, what the fuck, you know? And he wasn't thinking so much about Match, he's thinking about Toriko, right? So then he goes and he's thinking about it, and the words kind of bother him and haunt him a little bit. So he goes and he says, you know what, maybe I better go and check and make sure that my bugs did their job, right? That they actually went and killed Toriko, you know? So as he goes and walks over by Toriko and comes up to him, he's like, you know, I'm going to take care of this myself. So he goes and he's just, I don't know if it was supposed to be a punch or a knife hand chop, like to go right through Toriko where his heart is, whatever. It was aimed right at where his chest is, right? And again, and Tommy's kind of like, hey, you know what? He still hasn't fallen yet. He's only on his knees. What's the deal? You know, let's make sure that he's 100% dead, right? I'm 99% sure, but that 1% may come back to bite me in the ass. So Match's words really wound up haunting him. And the neat thing about it is Match's words wind up being what turns the tides, at least for this portion of it, because you don't see Toriko for, you know, 2/3 of the chapter, and then all of a sudden Tommy goes and he's like, whoosh, and it's great because you just see come out of the bugs, you just see part of Toriko's manly built-up chest and his hand as he grabs freaking Tommy's hand, and he's like, thank you for entering within my range again. And I'm just like, yeah, you fucking just pulled him in, right? So then all of a sudden, man, he does the 10-fold Coogie punch or spike punch or whatever punch, and he's just pow, 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 just 10 of them, man, right into Tommy, and it's great the way that they visually depict and just show, and you just picture like the echoing of the punches just rattling off of his body and just like shaking his very bones to, you know, and joints, and just, oh man, it's so awesome, done so nice, you know. And he's just like, yeah, you want hell? I'd be happy to send you there. And you get this beautiful, mostly double-page spread. Obviously, there's a little bit on the panel on this side, but then you get this look of Tommy just like shitting his pants, like, like, seriously, doesn't it look like he just, oh god, I'm gonna need new underwear, you know? And it's funny too, because it says, I was finally able to get you, and then you see the aftermath of it, and he's like, I'm finally able to get you within range and punch in your damn polka-dotted abdomen, you know? And Tommy's kind of like, what the hell? How did you even survive my bugs and everything, you know? And then he goes to kind of hack out more bugs, and it looks like he just hacks out blood. Or maybe he's trying to hack out blood, or maybe it's just from taking the punches. I don't know. He's trying to kind of shake them off like they were nothing. Who knows? But we wind up finding out that that Toriko, he actually has like these, he actually had these oils that secreted from his body. It's part of his evolution, his gourmet cells, basically, you know, like their self-defense mechanism. And he winds up, I think it's called phytoncide. Here we go. It's yeah, phytoncide, Phytoncide. So we'll say phytoncide. But anyway, yeah, phytoncide. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it, I think. Finks or whatever. Phytoncide. Whatever this is that he has, it's like a bug repellent is what he's doing, and it winds up like the bugs start becoming like just pretty much like lame and paralyzed, and I don't know, you know, what the best way I can try to explain it, the way I understood it, was that as a self-defense, his body, his gourmet cells wound up going and actually secreting this. And hopefully we'll find out a little more about it in the next chapter, because there wasn't like a real vivid description like there normally is. And then basically it's like a bug repellent, you know. So although the bugs were on him, this oils that had secreted from his body and kind of covered him, it kept the bugs from actually like biting him, consuming him, devouring him, stinging him, whatever it is that they could do, you know. And it looks like, because when you go and you see some of the bugs afterwards, there's one that had kind of attached itself over to matches, so certain things just sort of like sitting there all like stunned. So I don't know if this was the type of thing where it killed them completely, it paralyzed them, what. Very cool stuff, though, and just so nice to see the tides turn a little bit. And not even so much the tides turn. Toriko's been holding his own real well here during this fight with Tommy, but Tommy is just a little punk-ass bitch just hiding behind these bugs. And that's why I like him as a villain. I mean, I hate him, but I love to hate him, you know? It's the type of thing where I think I even said in the last chapter, you know, I just hate him. He's an actual piece of shit and everything else. And he is, but he's the perfect villain because of that. You know, he's the perfect villain because, you know, his mentality is that he's completely checked out and doesn't have any attachment to anyone or anything. So it's very cool to see that, because he has no hang-ups about going and even killing one of his own people or sacrificing his own bugs. He has nothing, he has no hang-ups about any of that stuff, you know. So it's actually pretty cool to see. And for a person who has a lot of emotion and caring and consideration for others, even people that I'm not so fond of, seeing something like that, to me, is neat and unique from the perspective of, I have no idea how it could be. I couldn't be so empty, so lifeless like that, you know. But there is people out there that are like that, you know. And it is what it is, I suppose. So very, very cool chapter. Things wind up ending up, though, obviously, with him going, and Toriko is, you know, tells him, he says, here he goes, think of it as a natural bug spray. Now we're even, Tommyrod. And then he says, I'm about to unleash my inner beast, and he's not as nice as me. And then you get Tommy, and he's like, make no mistake, his body is releasing a substance repugnant to my insects. And then he talks about his gourmet cells, self-defense instincts are at work. And he's just like, and then he goes, that was stupid of him. And that's how the chapter ends off. So I don't know what else Tommy's got up his sleeve over there, or if maybe this is just kind of a chess game and Tommy was hoping that something like that would happen, because maybe there's some kind of side effect or after effect of that. So we will see in the next chapter. My chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is really, I guess, you know, what were your thoughts on obviously at least this portion of the battle? To me, I thought it was very clever that Toriko went and just pretty much allowed himself to become overwhelmed, it looked like, by the insects, so he could kind of draw Tommy in, get him within his range, and then just be able to unleash on him, you know. So let me know what your thoughts are on this plan of action in the battle as it's progressing in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Remember to subscribe to my other channels and follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram too.